Thank you, Doctor. Again, I welcome all the dignitaries here on the stage. Now I request Senior Cardiologist Dr. Satyavan Sharma sir to present the bouquet, Mr. KAJOL Mehta, Honorable Municipal Commissioner. Again, I request Dr. Sharma sir to present the bouquet to the Commissioner of Police, Honorable Super Jaiswal sir. And now I request Dr. Sharma to present the bouquet to our special guest, Bollywood superstar KAJOL. Every sudden cardiac arrest ends with the irreversible loss. I request Dr. Manju Sinha to share what she has lost due to this monster, sudden cardiac arrest. Dr. Manju Sinha.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm Dr. Manju Sinha, wife of Dr. Rakesh Sinha. For those of you who didn't know him, Rakesh was a laparoscopic surgeon. He was a holder of 2 Guinness World Records. He was a pioneer who had introduced laparoscopic surgery to Mumbai and India for that matter. "21 months, 3 days ago, that is 26th December 2016, as usually, this was a Monday morning. I was woken up around 7:30 with a cup of tea and a good morning, which was his natural habit. That is what he used to do. We had a cup of tea. He had already had a cup of tea with my in-laws. And we sat down and spoke about simple things. We spoke about things like how we had had a wonderful Sunday the day prior. We had gone shopping, he had gone for a movie, we had gone out for dinner, and he was very excited because he had written a book, Anatomy of Success, and the book was getting good reviews. He was an avid reader. And he always spoke about how it is important to share your thoughts and share your skills. Skills he used to share by teaching everybody, and his thoughts and the books that he used to read, he had amalgamated all of that and put it in his book. So he was very excited. We were in a wonderful space, personally, professionally, financially, and we were talking about, he showed me the shoes which he had bought the day prior, a new pair of running shoes. And I gave him the t-shirt and I asked him whether he had seen that. And we shared simple niceties. I soon got a call saying that our list, the surgical list that we were supposed to do, one of the cases was postponed. He said, "Wonderful, I'll go for a quick run." Running was his passion. As I said, he was a non-smoker, non-alcoholic, not hypertensive, non-diabetic. He used to run regularly, and he always said he didn't need anything extraneous to give him a high, because running is what gave him his high every day. And he went for his run. The next, I get a phone. This was around 8:10. I had 2 thoughts. One was to tell him, "It's quite late, why do you want to go?" Second was that, "Should I come along?" But that would have delayed everything further. I kept quiet and he went for his run. This was around 8:10, 8:15. 8:53, I got a call saying that I was needed. I woke up my son and we rushed. By the time he was already declared. They said it was a flat line. I insisted that we continue with we restart the resuscitation and we continue resuscitation. And the gentleman who was next to him, when Mr. Shahid Bashir, kept saying, we did everything we could. We did everything we could. We saw him fall down. We first tried to woke him up. He didn't respond. We got water. The watchman nearby on the road got water for him. They sprinkled water, but he didn't respond. We even put up his legs so that there would be some circulation. But I guess that's what they did was everything that they knew of. And that's all. I couldn't tell them anything because that's, as he said, they did their best because that is what they knew best. And I hope our initiative is going to help save many people in this world.
डॉक्टर राकेश सिन्हा की अनमोल यादें आज हमारे पास है। स्वामी विवेकानंद जी ने कहा है, जन्म मिलना ये भाग्य की बात होती है, मृत्यु आना ये समय की बात होती है, पर मृत्यु के बाद भी लोगों के हृदय में जीवित रहना ये कर्मों की बात होती है। तो डॉक्टर मंजू जी, हम सब आपके साथ हैं। थैंक यू सो मच। नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट डॉक्टर प्रफुल्ल केरकर, सीनियर कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट, टू एक्सप्लेन अस what exactly cardiac arrest is and how come it has become burden for today's young generation. Dr. Praful Kielkarji.
Thank you. Well, Rakesh Sinha was a close friend. Thank you, Manju, for really telling us the unexpected and sudden, out of the blue thing that the sudden cardiac arrest causes. So what is sudden cardiac arrest? So sudden cardiac arrest is a life-threatening emergency, as you heard from Manju. And suddenly, unexpectedly, the heart stops beating. Heart stops beating and there is accompanied loss of consciousness and there is no breath. So, what eventually happens is that heart as a pump stops pumping and there is no blood flow going up to the vital organs and to the brain. Death follows within a few minutes. Time is very critical. Few minutes, as in 3 to 4 minutes, person will die. Max 7-8 minutes. So imagine when this happens out of hospital. The prognosis is very bleak, very dismal. 1 out of 10 such victims would make it, would live. But how would this patient have come around? By an immediate electrical cardioversion with a defibrillator, as what we call it. So, defibrillator availability, it's not going to be immediately available. Can we lay people do something during that period that the defibrillator is arriving? Yes. It has been shown that bystanders around there, if they are trained and if they do mere chest compressions, hard and fast, this survival can go up at least 3 to 4 times. So we have a chance there. So that is what it is. Now, what causes this sudden cardiac arrest? In cardiology parlance, we call it a rhythm abnormality of the heart. So what is the commonest one there is ventricular fibrillation. There is, as you know, heart has its own electricity. The erratic and rapid electrical activity is what happens during this ventricular fibrillation. So the heart ain't contracting. What is the heart doing? It's just quivering. Useless, this is. Instead of effectively pumping blood to the vital organs. That is not happening. So what is the most common cause? Most common cause is in the 75% of the cases, when we look at autopsies of these patients, it is coronary artery disease. 75% of the times that's the cause. And it makes sense. All these health messages that you must have seen that we have put up, it makes sense to have a heart-healthy lifestyle and to control your risk factors, mainly smoking, diabetes, and hypertension. So that is extremely important. It has a role in preventing not only coronary artery disease, but preventing this villain, the sudden cardiac arrest. So having said that, what is the actual statistics that is available out there? The statistics are displayed out here. Recently, the Lancet, a reputed medical journal, gave us some Indian data, which when lay press, you people also did it. That is that heart disease is the #1 killer in our country. 28% it accounts for of all deaths, which works out in absolute numbers to about 2.4 million or so. Now, 50% of coronary artery disease deaths we know are due to sudden cardiac arrest. So we, as I mentioned, beyond this, for sudden cardiac arrest, we do not have any statistics. But taking a cue from the global statistics, we can only guesstimate, extrapolate these statistics to ours, and we can only guesstimate that the burden out there is about 1.35 million deaths every year due to sudden cardiac arrest. 24,000 deaths is the number that one can, more than 20,000 deaths for this city alone annually. And every hour, 3 Mumbaikars die of sudden cardiac arrest. Sudden cardiac arrest, 3 Mumbaikars die every hour. And the sad part about all this is, like my friend Rakesh Sinha, it hits you out of the blue. It strikes without warning. And 2/3 of such cases are without warning cases. So without a prior indication of heart disease. So how can we remain prepared for such an eventuality? We need to be prepared. Prevention, yes, that is the best way to go about it. But to be prepared, next. Today is a World Heart Day. And the international slogan for today is my heart, your heart, to all our hearts. Which only means that we all today make a promise, not only for our heart, by what I have again and again told you, by adopting a heart-healthy lifestyle. To say that, I forgot to actually address you all when I came up. And when I was coming up here, KAJOL did not agree to come in a buggy here. She said, let's walk it up. Or for that matter, in an ideal world, one should even not have taken the elevator up to come here. So heart-healthy lifestyle is one thing, but we must not only care for our own hearts today, but we should make all of us a selfless promise for others, for our fellow human beings, by lending our hands to save a heart. And how can you do that? By training yourself or learning the art of hands-only CPR and the use of an automated external defibrillator. This hands-only CPR will not revive the heart back, meaning it will not make you start the heart back, but it will keep the circulation going till such time as the defibrillator arrives. So this is the promise that we all ought to do. And as far as we are concerned, next slide please, we have pledged, the CSI along with the help of our dynamic municipal commissioner has pledged that we will train during this conference at least 300 personnel from the public service departments. Now, by public service departments, I forgot to address you all you audience that have come here, a multidisciplinary audience. Amongst you, there are these fire brigade personnel, there is municipal staff, there is the police people, and not only the Mumbai police, but the traffic police and the railway police. All of them we propose to train. That is our pledge for this World Heart Day. The dream, of course, is to make Mumbai a city like Graduate in Philippines. What have they done? They claim that by 2021, they will be CPR ready. What do you mean CPR ready? That in every household, every family there would be at least one member of the family who can give hands-only CPR and who knows how to use a defibrillator.
किसी वश आपको वेदना होगी तो आंखों में पानी आ जाएगा और सपने बिखर जाएंगे, बह जाएंगे। सपने हृदय से देखने से हृदय की धक धक जब तक चलेगी तब तक हमेशा विश्वास होगा कि सपने साकार ही होंगे। इसका मतलब यही है कि हृदय हमारा कितना महत्वपूर्ण है, योगदान है, तो उसकी केयर करना, उसकी केयर करना ये हमारा महत्वपूर्ण योगदान है। What is eye care? We all want to know about this. I request Dr. Arvindo Fernandez, Medical Director, Holy Family, Bandra, to share his experience about eye care with us. Dr. Arvindo Fernandez.
Dignitaries on the dais and my dear friends and all of you present here this morning. Today, 29th September, is World Heart Day. And I want to congratulate the Cardiology Society of India to take this theme, awareness of sudden cardiac arrest, a theme so necessary to save lives. What a tragedy. You see a person seemingly healthy, young, walking on the streets of Mumbai and without any warning drops dead. But let me tell you, the bigger tragedy is this could have been prevented if people around him knew how to do cardiac resuscitation, and if there was availabilities of these defibrillators, easy to reach, to try and keep these people going till medical help arrives. I was the medical director of Holy Family Hospital, and every week 2 to 3 patients were brought dead to our emergency and our casualty. And they were not old, 70s and 80s. They were young people. They were in their 40s, 30s, sometimes in their 20s, brought dead to the casualty. What a tragedy. And it was only after that fateful day in December, that morning, when Dr. Rakesh Sinha was brought, that brilliant, young, multifaceted, athletic doctor, that the cardiologists of our hospital decided that we must do something about it. And that's when Dr. Yash Loganwala, Dr. Brian Pinto came to us in the management and said, let's do something about sudden cardiac arrest. And that's we decided. I think the management of the Holy Family Hospital was very happy, because this was a project for the public, saving lives for the project, and they gave us full support. So we started really with a very small team, Yash, Brian and me, and we started thinking of how to take this forward. And I expanded our team. We had other people from the hospital, a few of them, Manju is part of our team, lay people, Quinton, Lucy, I see here. So we formed this team and started planning how to take us forward. And these were our plans. We started what was called the Eye Care Project. I stands for involvement of all of me, you and everyone. And care is an acronym, cardiac arrest resuscitation for everyone. So this was the project. So what was the objective? It was to save lives due to sudden cardiac arrest. And how were we going to do this? So two main things that we thought of. One is that this would be a pilot project. This was only Holy Family Hospital, so this will be a pilot project, and we restricted ourselves to the suburbs of Western Bandra. So this was a pilot project. The second, we said we will train the communities, everybody could in Bandra to do cardiac resuscitation. The second was we will try and see that we put in AEDs across Bandra for public use, across Bandra, so that they were easily available for resuscitation. how did we take this forward? I think we started a training program, and it was a hands-on training program. That people were, first is that we would get people who would want to say, create an awareness saying that everyone can save a life. You don't need to be a doctor, a medical person or a nurse. Everybody can save a life if you learn how to do cardiac resuscitation and use an AED. Second is teach them how to diagnose cardiac arrest, how to give CSR, and third is how to use an AED. And I want to tell you that this we started a little over a year ago. In the last year, a little more, we have been able to train almost 5,000 people in Bandra. And I want to say that we have a very proactive team of coordinators. I know we doctors so there. We have a very proactive team who goes and pushes forward, asking people to get trained. And so I want to tell you, we train the police, we train the fire brigade, we train the students and teachers in colleges, we went to gymkhanas and gymnasiums, we went through the churches and mosques of Bandra, got them to get in people, but we went and asked them to come. And sir, the Bandra police gave us a lot of help, and we put our first AED in the Bandra police station. So having done that, the second was to get AEDs, and I want to tell you again proudly that 14 AEDs have been put in the suburbs of Bandra for public use. And there are some AEDs in like the Taj Hotel or the Otters Club that are within the premises. But we have a long way to go. The third is that the ambulance that you read about in the papers today, 108 on bikes, they are located in the premises close to the eye care project. So where are we here and how do we take this forward? Of course, we are a small team. We have a lot of very little funds, and we have to take this project across Bandra, put AEDs, so that's where. But I think the most important thing is to create an awareness. I'm glad the media are there, besides all the photographs that you're taking with KAJOL around. I think the media can send that message. Every citizen of Mumbai must say, I want to save a life. I want to learn cardiac resuscitation. I think that's the message we must promote. I also feel, sir, we have the dynamic municipal commissioner. I've gone to him several times, Mr. Ajay Mehta. I know we came to you when we started the project, and the police commissioner. So I think we can take this with your help across the city. Make it compulsory for every municipal worker to learn cardiac resuscitation and use of AED. Every municipal public hospital, not dispensary hospital, should have an AED, and all big municipal offices should have AEDs. And everything that you give licenses for the ambulances, for the nursing homes, for the dispensaries, they must get trained and have AEDs. And I think, sir, it is time for the government, for the police, for the corporates, for the railways, all to come together to say that we want to make the city a cardiac safe city. And I think today, if all of us pledge that we will learn, everybody will learn cardiac resuscitation, we'll have AEDs in all public places. Mumbai will be the first cardiac safe city, the first cardiac safe city in this country. Thank you.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर। दिल से दिल मिला तो जीवन बेहतर होगा, सुंदर होगा। हमारे गुलजार साहब ने लिखा है, एक प्रियतम था, वो अपनी प्रियतमा से बहुत ही प्यार करता था। एक दिन प्रियतम को लगा कि अपनी प्रियतमा का दिल का किसी को जाके पेंटर के पास से एक तस्वीर बना के ले आए। वो पेंटर के पास गया और उसने बोला कि मेरी प्रियतमा के दिल का एक अच्छी तरह से पेंटिंग्स या तस्वीर बना लो, और मेरे सिवाय उसे कोई ना देख सके इसलिए एक दरवाज़ा भी बना। पेंटर हंस गया और उसने बहुत अच्छी तरह से उसकी प्रियतमा का दिल का एक पेंटिंग बनाया और एक दरवाज़ा भी लगाया। प्रियतमा गया, उसने देखा, उसे बहुत ही अच्छा लगा, लेकिन एक कमी महसूस आ गई। वो पेंटर को बोला, आपने दरवाज़ा तो लगाया है लेकिन कड़ी लगाई नहीं है, उसको ताला नहीं लगाया। पेंटर हंस के बोला, प्रियतम, दिल के दरवाजे बाहर से नहीं अंदर से खुलते हैं। गुलजार साहब की लिखी हुई ये कहानी है। दिल जितना अच्छा है उतनी ही दिल वाली अच्छी होगी। जिसका घराना फनकार होगा और कला खानदानी, पर्दे पर जिसने लिखा है अपनी नई कहानी, अभिनय की धारा में उसकी धारा है अनमोल, आंखों में ले जा सके सब उसके रूप का मोल। वो जिनमें तारों की नदियाँ, बस नाम उसका है हमारी काजोल। काजोल जी, ब्यूटीफुल काजोल. Kajol, we welcome you here on the forum and we are curious to know what made you endorse sudden cardiac arrest awareness initiatives. Kajol.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry I got a little distracted listening to the statistics on my left hand side from Dr. Kinkar. First of all, I think everybody is here for a reason. सब यहाँ किसी वजह से आए हुए हैं इस particular cause को support करने के लिए। तो I know for a fact that all of these people probably on stage जितने भी हैं यहाँ पे have had a lot of personal experience with sudden cardiac arrest। और मैं कहना चाहूँगी कि so have I। And I'll give you a small example. I had a friend of mine who was 28 years old. He had just got married and his wife just found out that she was pregnant. And I think she was about a month pregnant at that point of time. So she किसी को बताया नहीं था उन्होंने और रात को जो भी है बताया उनको, एक दूसरे से बात की and they went to sleep. In the morning at about 2:30 in the morning she heard a thud in the bathroom and she woke up and her husband had died of sudden cardiac arrest. He had just fallen down and died of sudden cardiac arrest at home. There was nothing that she could do. कुछ नहीं कर सकती थी उस वक्त। उसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा था क्या करूँ। भाग के उसने फ़ोन किया सबको या जो भी है, you call up. First thing you do is you call. Unfortunately, life takes that much time to get everybody together or to get medical attention to you. And I remember thinking till today, I feel what a waste. What an enormous waste of such a talented man, and he was very intelligent, talented, great sense of humor. And suddenly I was walking on a set and somebody mentioned it. I didn't even know about it actually. It happened and like 24 hours later somebody mentioned it on a set. Hey, have you heard that this one has expired? And it was one of those utterly shocking things that I remember it till today. I just sat down and I just howled and howled and howled and howled and howled and cried for I couldn't stop crying for a good half an hour. It didn't matter who was around me at that point in time, and I remember it so clearly till today. So about a year and a half ago, when Dr. Yashna spoke to me about this particular initiative, I was like, okay, I totally agree with you. और मेरे घर में मैं अपने सास और ससुर के साथ रहती हूँ। मेरी माँ, I think my mother has just celebrated her 75th birthday, and so I have a lot of experience with the fact that बीमार पड़ते रहते हैं लोग, ज़रूरत पड़ती है काफ़ी चीज़ों की, हॉस्पिटल की, डॉक्टर्स की। But most importantly, I think what it brings home to you is that you need at least one person in every family to have that kind of training, to be CPR trained. I think it is very very important, बहुत ज़रूरी है। इतना मुश्किल भी नहीं है, मुझे लगता है कि आपको जैसे कहते हैं कि डॉक्टर की सर्टिफिकेट की ज़रूरत नहीं है। और अगर हम किसी चीज़ की बात करें, 1 घंटे की बात है, तो I think that's something that's an awareness that we can definitely spread to everybody। और जितना भी हम कह रहे हैं, I think it's part of our duty as citizens of the world really to help somebody out if we can। And most importantly, I think it's very important for us to understand that at some point in time, it may not be today, it may be tomorrow, it may be day after, it may be 5 years or 10 years from now, you will need it. if not for somebody that you care about, for somebody that you've seen, you like, you are acquainted with, or even if you see somebody across from you who's a complete stranger and you can do something about it, it will change your life. So I think this initiative is fabulous, and it's sad that it took so many life-changing moments for it to come about, and for everybody to stand up and talk about it. But I honestly think that I really think that it is one of those necessary public service announcements that I'm hoping when I speak to the media as well, that they will all take this as the headline, that it is something preventable and we should all work towards it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We have observed that many incidents of sudden cardiac arrest happen on roads or in public places. If the victim gets help in time, chances of surviving increase. Police can help the victim to get timely help. I request Honorable Police Commissioner Mr. Subbu Jaiswal sir to say few words on how municipal police can help this initiative. Honorable Police Commissioner.
Shri Yojay Mehta, Professor Kerkar, Dr. Sharma, Mrs. Devgan, ladies and gentlemen. When Mr. Mehta invited me for this event, I said yes, immediately. The reason was, we in the police, in the Mumbai police, we are 55,000 strong. And in the last 12 days, that was the period of Ganpati and Muharram, we lost 4 of our personnel to this disease. 2 of them were actually, would probably may have been saved if we had the same kind of training or same kind of assistance at the spot. We internalized the loss, but we did make an effort, and we are consciously going to make an effort to ensure that we are going to ensure that all our constables, all our officers have a 100% medical checkup every year. That's number 1. And number 2, as suggested, we'll make all efforts to ensure that we'll have as many people trained in this, should I use the word first aid if it's not wrongly said, this kind of a procedure. And we have 93 police stations, and in each police station we can have sufficient number of people trained. The assistance can be provided, the training can be provided to us, that will be available to the public at large. So also it will be enough for our benefit that our own people, if they actually have to go through this kind of situation, somebody is there to revive them also. The initiative is excellent. We in the Mumbai Police are there to support you in any which way we can by providing whatever manpower you require for undergoing training, and whatsoever small it will take, we also try to see if we can do something about providing the equipment at strategic places. You and the society, the very best in the effort, and we will be a part of you as and when you require. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू सर। लगातार 8 फिल्में फ्लॉप होने के बाद जाने माने संगीतकार आनंद बहुत व्यथित हो गए। उनको बहुत ही दुख हुआ और सदमा पहुंचा, और उसका नतीजा ये निकला कि लंदन में होते हुए उनको हार्ट अटैक आ गया। लंदन के अस्पताल में उन्हें भर्ती कर दिया गया। उनके जाने वाले परम मित्र गुलजार साहब और राजेश खन्ना तुरंत लंदन में पहुंचे और अस्पताल में जाके उन्होंने आरडी जी का हाथ उठाया। उनको बहुत दुख हुआ कि दिल जैसे अनेक गाने बेहतरीन तरह से सजाने वाले हमारे आरडी जी का इतना बुरा हाल उनको देखा नहीं गया। तो गुलजार साहब ने आरडी जी का हाथ पकड़ा और बोले, दिल खोल लेता अपने यारों के साथ तो आज दिल खोलना ना पड़ता किस औजारों के साथ। ऐसा दिल का मामला होता है, सो बी अवेयर। एवरी गुड सोशल initiative needs the support of government to achieve the great success. I call upon Honorable Municipal Commissioner Mr. Ajay Mehta how Mumbai Municipal Corporation can support this great initiative. Honorable Ajay Mehta sir.
उपस्थित माझे मित्र व मुंबईचे पोलीस आयुक्त श्री सुबोध जायस्वालजी, ज्यांनी आमची विनंतीला मान देऊन एकच मिनिटात या कार्यक्रमाला यायला तयारी दाखवली असे काजोलजी, ज्यांनी या कार्यक्रमाचा पुढाकार घेऊन या कार्यक्रमाला मूर्त स्वरूप दिलं असे डॉक्टर केरकर, इथे उपस्थित डॉक्टर शर्मा, डॉक्टर अमित वोरा, इथे उपस्थित सर्व पोलीस अधिकारी, जवान, फायर ब्रिगेडचे अधिकारी, जवान आणि सर्व नागरिक. आपण दोन प्रकारचे हेल्थमध्ये कार्यक्रम कॉर्पोरेशनमध्ये घेतो. पहिला कार्यक्रम ज्याला म्हणतो कम्युनिकेबल डिसीजेस, म्हणजे खूप मोठ्या संख्येने लोकांना होतो, जसं डेंग्यू, मलेरिया, टायफॉइड, H1N1 मोठ्या संख्येत असतात, त्याच्याने प्रभावित होतात आणि त्यांना ट्रीटमेंट करणे, त्याच्याबरोबर काय काळजी घ्यावा. कम्युनिकेबल डिसीजमध्ये आपलं खूप मोठ्या प्रमाणात थ्रस्ट असतात. दॅट इज वन बिग थ्रस्ट एरिया दॅट द म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन हॅज. And a large number of people are affected by it, so we adopt a very different method in that of telling people how dengue takes place, what preventive measures should you take, if you have dengue, what you should do. So that is one area. The second area where we have of late started putting a lot of emphasis is what we call lifestyle diseases. This may not affect a large population in one go, but an individual who suffers from this can suffer a very painful lifestyle if he goes through that. So it may be diabetes, cholesterol, high blood pressure, heart trouble. These are lifestyle diseases which have come about because of the lifestyle that we are living now. No exercise, high fat diets, diets rich in sugar. So these are lifestyle diseases. In lifestyle diseases, we have realized that the most important thing is to target what is called the family, the individual. So our communication is now to the individual. How to prevent, and if it happens, what do you do? Therefore, in the corporation, we have started now what is called the first responder training. If something like this happens, who is the first man who responds? And that is true for anything, whether it is diabetes. If there is somebody who gets diabetes at home, who is the first person who will respond? The person in the family. He says, oh well, cut your sugar down, get into some exercise. Similarly, there are also certain accidents or certain disasters. Who is the first person to respond? If there is a fire in the house, or God forbid there is a fire here, who is the first person? People like you and me will respond first. The fire brigade comes in next. Similarly, we found that in certain cardiac death, the first responder is either the family member or the citizen who is standing there. He is the first responder. He must know what should I do. Yes, these programs make everybody, in fact, when I was sitting here, I was noticing everybody is looking very serious, morose, lost. No, the aim of this program is not to make you sad. The aim of this program is to make you aware. Next time this happens, I know what to do. Is the message that you have to carry from here. We don't want you to feel sad and go away from here. Feel empowered. Feel that you've learned something. Yes, I know something. I can respond. I will go back and teach 4 more people how to respond when the things like this happen. It's a very simple intervention that you can do. There is nothing big about the CPR. I think it's one of the simplest interventions that are available in medical science and saves a life immediately, especially in forces or employees who do a lot of physical labor or who need to do strenuous work, like the police, the fire brigade, the safai kamgars. They are actually doing physical work, running, moving around, standing, long hours. These are the people who must know about it. Therefore, we decided to organize this program, train what is called the first responder on how to react if this thing happens. म्हणून हे कार्यक्रमाचं आपण आयोजन केलं आणि विशेषतः मला इथे आज आभार मानला पाहिजे पोलीस कमिशनरांचा. त्यांना मी एकदाच फोनच केला. मी म्हटलं आम्ही येतो तुम्हाला सांगायला, पण ते म्हटले नको, हे अतिशय महत्त्वाचा कार्यक्रम आमच्यासाठी. आणि त्यांनी मग फोनवरच मला सांगितलं की मागच्या गणपतीमध्ये कसे त्याचे जवान त्यांना गमावं लागले याच्यामुळे. तर ते म्हटलं हे आपल्याला करायचंच आहे, अजून काय करता येतं तुम्ही सांगा, ट्रेनिंग कसं करायचं, त्या सर्वामध्ये आम्ही भाग घेऊ. त्याचा खरंच मी आभार मानतो. I must thank KAJOL ji. In fact, this is the second program that she is coming for. You know, generally the film world attends all the Filmfare Awards and everything else. But when it comes to attending a public awareness cause, a cause which sends a message to the people, saves life, she's always been at the forefront. Whenever we requested her, she's always been there. Thank you, Kajolji. I know you're busy schedule, but having come for this, I thank you not only from my behalf, the corporation behalf, but also on behalf of the citizens of Mumbai. I am sure that you addressing the media is going to send a message. Let's get trained. It's a simple thing. Let's get trained. It may not happen. God forbid it should not happen. And we all pray it doesn't happen. But there's no harm in being trained to do it. Everybody in a disaster thing is not me. Whenever you tell somebody कि भाई आपके घर में भी आग लग सकती है, सीढ़ियों में सामान मत रखिए, लिफ्ट नहीं लीजिएगा, सीढ़ियों से जाइएगा. His first reaction is मेरे घर में तो आग नहीं लगी. So everybody thinks that I am not the next guy, but you never know who's destined to be the next guy. So let's be trained about it. That's the only message that I want to give. I want to thank Dr. Kherkar for the kind of interest he has taken. He could just be doing his research and writing his papers, but he decided to come out and talk to people. Similarly, Dr. Sharma, I know you're busy, but you still made it time to come here. Dr. Vora, yourself also, your contribution has been huge to this program that we have taken up. I thank everybody for having come here. आणि या एक छोटासा कार्यक्रमामध्ये आपण भाग घेतला त्याबरोबर सर्वांचा आभार मानतो आणि एकच सर्वांना मी विनंती करेल की आपण परत गेल्यावर हा CPR ची पद्धत शिकून घ्यावा. परत गेल्यावर कमीत कमी 5 लोकांना, आपले जे शेजारी कोणी राहत असेल, नातेवाईक असेल, कमीत कमी 5 लोकांना आपण ट्रेन करावा. एवढं जरी आपण केलं तर मला वाटतं खूप मोठ्या प्रमाणात आपण याचा हेतू साध्य करूया. परत आपल्या सर्वांचा आभार मानतो. जय हिंद.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our dignitaries to take pledge to participate in this constructive initiative, to lend our hand to save a heart.
अरे पीछे ही रहे ना, जूम है ना, क्यों आगे जा रहा है? दादा ये देखो पुढे नका जाऊ ना, स्टेज पे चढ़ जाओ. अरे स्टेज पे चढ़ जाना दादा, स्टेज पे चढ़ जा. एक बार फोटो लेके चलो, बैठ जाओ. मुझे इधर पीछे दिखेगा सर. सर इधर थोड़ा सा पीछे आना दादा, थोड़ा पीछे आ जाओ. जूम है ना, पीछे आना, थोड़ा आगे आगे, थोड़ा पीछे आना. इधर खड़े रहे. पीछे आओ ना दादा.
आम्ही पाठीत होतो, सगळे हे पुढे आले. हे बघा
दादा
पाठी उभे आहेत सगळे.
And how hard should we push so that the central bone बीच का जो पट्टी है वो कम से कम 5 सेंटीमीटर नीचे जा रहा है, इसलिए करते हैं. और एक बात जो है, जैसे आपने नोटिस करा, कोई भी बगल वाला कोई आदमी है तो जो आगे उनमें से एक कोई मेडिकल हेल्प के लिए बुलाए. Okay, so call whatever ambulance number you know close by, or we have our own memory. Call for the ambulance, or if you know that there is a defibrillator available in the office, call for that. Till that time, your job is to keep the circulation going.
हो साहेब उभं राहा.
Push hard and fast in the center of the chest, not to bend your elbows there, and get this going this fast. And how fast? How fast is the word I gave it strong. In the Western world, they talk about staying alive. And you can talk about, I suppose, jing jing jinga, 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 or something like that. Whatever fast beat, at least 100 to 120 times a minute, and you got to push, and it is tiring. You can even for something like us, it's tiring. So as you are doing it, tell a neighbor, let him start doing the same thing. So how long will you do it? As long as you get a difficult way. Or till such time as the scan is showing signs of life. Or he might show some signs of life. And then the defibrillator will come out. You talk about the defibrillator. Now these defibrillators are of different kinds. Some of them are designed to themselves detect if there is a shocking of the rhythm there. It will actually, some of them are also voice prompts to them what to do.
Begin by removing all the weight from the patient's chest. Cut clothing if needed.
There's not a very set
Place pad
this
exactly
guy
here.
is here.
Press firmly to
So
the
the other
patient's
guy,
bare skin.
the other guy is there.
No
This
one
is what
should
is the
थोड़ा सा पीछे जाना दादा, थोड़ा पीछे. आप क्यों खड़े हो भाई, पीछे चलो ना जरा. वो दादा मागे हम पाटे ना, थोड़ा पाटे काम करो ना दादा.
स्टेज पे बात करना कोई.
Now, one of the people might ask you
पता
how
नहीं
you
क्यों आगे जा
want
रहे
to
हैं.
pain lifestyle are trying to able to normally. So if it is a way, if at all use drag with that, then you might want to do it. But otherwise, you can
press pad slowly to
you
the
get
patient's
this
bare
out,
skin.
and the other guy has to pick this up, and you go on your hand condition. And then you see
Make
it
sure that the
later.
yellow
Will
is
detect the rhythm. The rhythm, as I was talking about, is scientific association, is what I tried to explain. It's just this kind of happening for senses, and it's going to deliver a shot. But before it delivers the shot, it will ask you also, or you should stay clear, and it will deliver the shot. Or you will press push the button to deliver the shot. Shock delivered, the patient shows signs of life, go ahead. Also, the defibrillator, the rhythm, you keep detecting as to again deliver the shock, or you want one
Press
press.
pad slowly to patient's bare skin.
ए दादा
The machine will tell you. Machine, there are some machines, or there are cell phone apps, which will tell you what you are doing. Is it good enough? Good enough as in
फ्लैप फ्लैश का थोड़ा सा नीचे फ्लैश पूरा
in the elderly especially, in the elderly, might even cause rib fractures. Okay.
Press
That's
pad slowly to
acceptable.
patient's bare skin.
Should be that good. That good. Of course, again we need things like
Make
good
sure that the yellow
psychology.
plastic
Somebody who's doing it should not be pulled up afterwards.
place pad
It is
exactly
especially
here.
painful to do
In
it.
situ. Pads must not be touching clothing of each other.
So what do we do?
काजल जी, कैन वी जस्ट काजल जी
Really આપણે support area to let your hands go. Somebody was joking. This is what we said in the lighter mood. ये हाथ मुझे दे दे ठाकुर is what the heart which is about to die is telling you. Don't take it literally. There is no heart transplant here. But give your hands, both your hands, to this man whom you can save. And you can actually save a life. I wonder if you could make that video that somebody's life got saved by an anesthesiologist colleague of ours. She is also here. She is also here. Diane is here. Okay, so let's together.
अरे ए भाई सबके हाथ दर्द अरे
We say,
थोड़ा सा हाँ अच्छा सा देखे नहीं सर वन
सर ते ईडी काढा सर, तो चुकीचा आहे. ईडी काढा सर तिकडनं. हाँ, नाउ डू इट काजल जी, नाउ डू इट. यस, लुक अप काजल जी, लुक.
काजल जी
Thank you.
ग्रुप पिक्चर के लिए एक से पास आइए सर. एक ग्रुप पिक्चर सर, एक ग्रुप पिक्चर. ग्रुप पिक्चर
ते असू द्या, ते असू द्या. अरे यार, भागताय यार.
Okay, thank you.
सर, एक ग्रुप पिक्चर. Thank you. बहुत फोटो हो गए, बस and all the students pass. We call her Hey Ma, Mujhe Salam.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Bye, Dr. Bye,
कमिश्नर का ले.
I don't think anyone's there really to thank, but since I